Okay, so this is a sample therapy session on how spiritual tools can be incorporated into a session. And so this is our lovely volunteer. She's going to speak about real things happening in her life. And I'll kind of roll through how I make an assessment on are spiritual tools okay for this client. And then I'll just weave them into the session how I would normally do my sessions.
Okay.
So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you find it useful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely put them in the course chat, or you can send me an email directly to honeybenatural@gmail.com. Okay, so let's get started. So before we got before we started recording, you were speaking about a situation that happened today where you had some contractors come and do some work, and
Mhm.
the contractors ended up billing you for more than what they initially quoted. So tell me a little bit about that situation, and how you handled it.
Okay, so first off, came to the house, guy come in. I'm like, okay. He looked at everything. I showed him the room. Him and the owner, I guess, is on the phone, and he's like, okay, we're gonna do it'll be. I was like, and then because he was like, you're gonna buy your supplies. So then I was like, okay, so I'm spending the money for the supplies. They're gonna do the labor. Okay, fine, that's good. I can manage that. At the end of this, now is I had already spent, I think, so I'm roughly at pocket, and I'm trying. I was like, how did I get to here? And it just pissed me off because I felt taken advantage of on that part. And the man did his job. He did a good job, but he didn't do like he didn't paint, he didn't clean up,
Hmm.
none of that. Because I was like, I don't want nothing extra. Like you just do what I need you to do, and I'll do the rest. That's what I expected. But
Okay.
at the end, I got so when I text the man, he's just like, well, we end up in the got out the frame and all of this. And I was like, but he didn't manually put the door up by hand. He put it up by, they build those whole kits and you just slide it in there. That's what he did. And then he comped the side, fixed that roughly, and that was it. And you're telling me that's so I paid it, but I'm definitely writing a review. Um, I felt like a part of me was like, don't pay it beforehand, but just get it done. But then I had this little, I don't want to say fear, but like, I just don't do wrong by people. I just feel like the guy that came and did the job. But a part of me was just like, I felt like I was taken advantage of. And it was like, if I didn't pay it, what would happen? Like, and even what are you gonna do? Come back and tear it up? And I was like, no, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna not pay for stuff, but I'm not the person that also hike up shit for other people if I'm providing a service. So it's done and over. It's done. It is what it is. I feel like what's out there is out there, but I'm gonna get my money back. Like everything gonna come back to me, and he gonna get what he gonna get after I get done with this review and calling thumbtack or emailing thumbtack. But he said he was gonna call me. He has yet to call me at all. It's been now 3 hours. So I'm frustrated. And then the other day with the other guy that did the greenhouse, there was some fear, but this is Oh, this might be TMI, but it's okay. Um, he was, and the way he was, I got scared a little bit in a way of like a man and a woman interacting. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I'm not finna not give this man this money because my mama in the house. But it was just like, I just want to get it over with and done the greenhouse deal. But it was half-ass done. And then had the audacity to send me the review to do the review on him. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not not doing that. But I got my money back, but it was just weird. It was just weird. Like if I for like things could escalate quickly. And I was like, I didn't feel safe to say, nah, I'm not doing it. That makes, but I feel like I do that a lot now that I think about it.
You do what a lot.
I feel like I let people take advantage.
Okay, you here we go. So what I heard you say in both instances is that you were looking for fairness and even restitution after the fact. And
Yeah.
then when it didn't come, then you started feeling frustrated, disappointed, and all of those emotions. So what what would have had to happen, or what could have happened differently to where you were not in that situation, you were in a more safe situation?
If so, if mm, is there a place where I would feel safe? That's a big question. Um, uh, I think if my brother was here, he would have been here. It would have been more of like but even in that instance, think about that is like if this man say the wrong thing, now I've put my could escalate higher too. So I can always see all the angles. So when you said what would make you feel safe, I'm thinking like this would, but then I'm like, no, it would because now risk. So I don't, I don't know if I've ever. Oh, I was not expecting this. Um, Felt safe. Like, okay, yeah, it's a safety thing,
Mhm. I hear that.
and it's just I don't know how people are gonna respond, and even in a business manner, I just hold people to a different standard because for what I do, I would never do someone like that. I would say, hey, let's stop right here. If we go any further, this is what the price is going to be versus proceeding without informing that person of that and putting them in an uncomfortable position, which was very uncomfortable. It felt taking it like I was taking advantage of. So, but it just didn't feel safe yesterday. Today was just frustration of like, this is the second time someone done fucked me over.
But
And
did they? Because what I'm hearing is there was no parameters or expectations other than do the job.
That is true. Well, hold on, wait, no, no, that's not true because I did tell him that if it is too much, I would like split up the jobs so we could do one door this time and then do the other door another time. He was like, "No, we got it. It'll be 480." That's the quote. 480 for both doors. So there were
And
parameters.
so this is verbal, or did you have like
Well, this
something
was
like,
verbal. It was verbal. It was
okay,
verbal. That's what I said. I've
okay,
I've learned a lesson.
okay. I have so many things on my notes here.
Okay.
So you said, um, if it's too much, we could do it this way. What would have happened if you would have decided beforehand and not let him decide? And then I have a follow-up question to that.
If I decided, I would have been
Mhm.
like, okay, let's do the lesser price of the one that I could have that I wouldn't go into my main money. Um,
So let me say it a different way.
okay.
What would it have looked like if you would have said 480 and how long is that gonna take you? And you get an estimate, and then if he said something like, I don't know, or we'll play it by ear, or I'm not sure, would
If
that
I would Okay, so yeah, if I would have asked that question and he told me I don't know, I would have been like, you know what? Well, let me just call around and see if I can get some numbers. Like I wouldn't have went. This man was at my door giving me a quote, physically at the door. It wasn't something that it was a email. But if he would have said, "Oh, I don't know," we just go. I would have been like, "No, I want to do this versus this." If he would have said 880, I would have been like, "Nah, let's just do how much is it for this door?" And if he would have told me 250, I would have been like, "Okay, good, let's go. Let's just do this one."
okay? But this is gonna get deeper, okay? You have been warned.
Okay.
So so safety is an issue. So safety is so big of an issue that it sounds like you may have put yourself in an unsafe position be because of the safety deficit. Meaning, it's probably safer for my brother to get here and be here, but I'm also trying to protect my brother. He's a grown man, or is he like a teenager? He's in college. He's in
No, he
like,
grown. He
okay,
grown.
okay. So the safety deficit is so big that it sounds like you opted to just wing it. Well, you're the person who has the safety issue. And don't shoot me, okay? For a contractor to be in your personal domain, it's like an invitation to violate in some sense.
I ain't do that.
So
Yeah.
I'll ask my first question again. What would have been better for your safety deficit? Because we can't, we can work on safety. Safety can be worked on over time.
Hmm.
It's not an on and off switch. So where you are right now with safety, what could you have done differently?
Had the quote done via email or yeah, like actual you because I did pictures, but I wouldn't have had nobody at my front door, like at the door, because I was just like, why do you do the quote in person like that? You drove 45 minutes to get here. So then that was another factor. But yeah, now that you're saying that,
Okay,
yeah.
I got a deeper question.
Okay.
Now we're going into boundaries. So how far do you let someone go before you say, all right, this is this is too much for me. Because it sounds like you have the cues, like you have the things that cue this not safe, this
Hmm.
not safe, this not safe. But what stops you from saying, like, you know what? Let me take a step back. Let me think about this differently. And then, like, what stops you from doing that?
Um, most of it's like internal dialogue. It's like today it was like, what do I do? Like, if I don't pay it, what is he gonna? I was like, is he gonna come back and do something? Like, and then the contractor, like, he didn't take the money. It was the owner that took the money. So and then I was like, they have my address. I don't know. I've been put in some unsafe positions before, and then sometimes it has been better to just be quiet, do it, and move on. But that's a whole another that's that's getting into childhood.
Okay, connected to childhood. Okay. So this takes me back to some things on my notes. I heard you say, but he did a good job. I heard you say, but it's better to pay him. I heard you say, I don't want to put my brother in that position. I heard you say, it's like you gave them their props, even though they didn't do a good job. Not only did they not do a good job, they lied, they were dishonest, and it sounds like they crossed the personal boundary as well. So, where does that script, because that is a script that replayed twice over a very short
Mm-hmm.
period of time. And that script is something doesn't feel safe. I let this thing or person in anyway. And then I beat myself up about it. So there's some type of shame cycle or anger
Mm-hmm.
cycle or, some emotional cycle. And then they still get
The benefits, they get all the yeah.
they get praise and like, even if it doesn't go in the review that he did a good job and he blah blah blah, like in that script, it sounds like you're still able to find
Reason to
something.
give what I to let it
Yeah, like a
I don't
justification for it.
yeah, I don't 100% know directly where that points to, but I know like childhood is just do as you told,
Mm.
be quiet. It is what it is. It's a lot that yeah. And then some things in my younger days. But I don't know why I allow it to go because as far as I do, because that's not the first instance. It's just I'm gonna keep it. That's not the first time that this has happened,
Okay.
and people look at me crazy, but I try to just see the better in it, the good in it, but then it frustrates me because I feel like um I'm always the person that's trying to see the good and good,
Yeah. What
and
if it's
that's it.
that I'm sorry, say it again.
Oh no, I was just like that's just I don't even know how to put in words what I'm feeling right now, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. Let me add something to that because you said um I always try to see the good, and right before we started this call you said something like my money is coming back to me, like everything that
Yeah.
I gave is coming back. So do you think that that is tied to an old religious narrative? And the reason why I ask this is because I hear a lot of my clients who are devout Christians or were devout Christians, say stuff like, you know, even though I got screwed over, or even though this thing happened, God got me and it's gonna be returned to me. And it's like, I could get with that. However, how did we even get here? So like, it, does God intervene
Yeah.
before we get here? Like before God has to
Or
come
when is it gonna happen?
step in and like fix it? What if like
Well,
is God in the beginning? Is God in the middle? Is God and so that's why I'm asking.
okay, so I'm not putting God in the middle of that. That's not. It's more of the energy given.
Mm.
So if that's the energy that you put out, that get over spirit, that get over energy, and I'm putting out love and do right, I'm I have the faith, and I don't know another word to use, but um I'm deconstructing, so that's another thing.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you
I'm
for sharing that.
deconstructing.
Yeah.
So I have the faith that even though, how do I say this the right way? Even though it happened and you did what you did, I still held up my end of the bargain. So what you put out is gonna come back on you. It's not gonna come back.
Okay.
And a part of me, like probably later on, I'm gonna sit and calm my energy back and
Mm.
let him get off me for one.
Okay.
That's one that's gonna happen this afternoon.
Mhm.
And the other part, because even now, um, afterwards, I had to deal with my son
Mm.
afterwards. So this is like a heightened thing too, because I had to explain to him. I had to say no to him,
Okay.
and then had to explain my no, and that irritated me.
Okay.
And I told him, because we're trying to communicate better.
Okay.
And part of the fear is let me give you the fear behind me and him is that we lose a disconnection. Like if I say no so many times, it's gonna be like, I ain't fucking with mama no more. Like she ain't got me, she don't have me, blah blah blah. And I don't want him to feel that way, but I have to teach him to be responsible with what he's doing in life and how he's moving. And if I give it to him, he's not gonna take care of it, cherish it. But when you work for something, you're gonna be more mindful about it. And he doesn't see that. He's just like, ain't nobody else here to help me but you. But I'm like, but if I give it to you, you're not you're not doing what you're supposed to do now. So if I give it to you, I'm only in um enforcing your bad behavior or what you're not doing. Like you don't have to for it. So it's this is like a compound thing. It's layered. Oh my God. Okay. Um, so with him in the car, I literally sat in the car after he got out the car. He went in the house. We went to Walmart. We had groceries. He did not get the groceries out the car. He just went in the house. So I sat in the car. I had to take a breather. I cried a little bit. And I'm just like, I was like, fuck it. I was like, over it. I came in the house. I got the groceries. I started the food. I got the little one bath, put her to bed with my mom. And I said, the food is done. When you're done, put the food in the Tupperware. He did not do it. And I was just like, you can't go talk right now because if you go talk right now, you're going to blow up. And then my mom was going to get involved. And then so on. So, um, but it proved the point of why it, it wasn't a point to prove to him, but to me, I'm doing what's right. Because if you can't do these little things, why I'm gonna forego $5,000 car and you're not even responsible enough to put the food away that I asked you to put the food away. You're not responsible enough to do the lawn, to put the lawnmower up that you took out. So, but I haven't addressed him since then. Like we haven't spoken since then. So, other than me saying, go eat and put the food away, that's the most we've talked. So, um, and then I could feel his energy of frustration and anger. It wasn't, his space did not feel like living my, like it was very like this bullshit. Like that's what I felt from him. Like, if she go with this bullshit. And I'm like, I can feel you. Like I told him, I said, I can feel you. Like I can feel what you're feeling right now. And I get it, you're frustrated, but I can't always take on these big things that you want me to do and you're not showing me anything. So yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay,
what's the question?
you ready here? Okay. Do you see the connection between the contractors and wanting the restitution on the back end and the same thing happening with your son? Because I would argue that the moment to start teaching him the lesson would have been sooner. It would have been, are you going to come back and get these groceries? As
Yeah.
opposed to letting him slide, you taking on the emotional weight of it, and then taking on the responsibility of it, and then making the meal, cooking the meal, putting all the groceries up, and then giving him this much of responsibility that did not
Mm-hmm.
equal your emotional output. Same thing with the
Right.
contractors. They did this much of the job and then you had to foot the bill. So there's a direct
Yeah.
connection here.
Yeah. I don't I don't know about this is hard.
I'm sorry. I saw your speech kind of speed up a little bit and you were more activated in your body. So I definitely want to, do some breath work to kind of release some of that before the session ends. But it's like saying no, like reclaiming your energy back when someone has crossed the boundary, because that's what your son did. He crossed multiple boundaries. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's conditioning. I don't know if it's because of his age. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
um it's kind of that same cycle. And it sounds like the no is still very it
Hard.
doesn't, yeah, hard. It doesn't flow. And it kind of goes back to the situation with the contractors where it's like positioning them positioning what they're giving you higher than what they're giving you, and then
Yeah.
you're footing the bill.
Yeah, that is I can yeah, I gotta make notes.
Yeah. What do you feel like you need more of? And I'm gonna pull some Oracle cards. Is
Oh,
Oracle something that you subscribe to, or I heard you say
yes, sir.
deconstructing earlier? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, deconstructing. I'm trying to, what I need more of now, um, support.
Okay. What does that mean when you say support?
Um, that I don't have to always. ask.
Tell me
I,
more.
just, I
Why
don't.
would you have to ask?
I think like for like home, like in this house right now, it's like this is gonna sound so ignorant, but it's little things like sweeping the floor. Like I feel like we're all grown in this house, and if you see something on the floor, you should just sweep it. But I have to do it, or I have to say, Chris, come do it, or the other two, my mom, my brother, and I'm just like, y'all grown. Why can it not be done without me having to say something or I do it? And then if I say something, it's like this.
Combativeness, because that's
Yeah, like,
what came up. Okay. I mean, that's the combativeness card came up. So, okay, it's a combativeness. But that combativeness, it bothers you. Like it scares you, or does it makes you kind of suppress yourself. So like, what's the
oh,
problem?
girl.
Yeah, anger suppression. So what is the problem with having to ask? And I'm playing devil's advocate here because I'm definitely a therapist who believes that like people who have been conditioned to not do things or don't want to do things, then you do have to ask.
Um, it's the if I don't hear, I feel like for me, if I don't hear what I want to hear, I get annoyed because I I do when people ask me. So when I say ask them and they say no, I'm like, oh. And then and a part of me like now thinking that it's not doing it because I want them to owe me something. It's just that I do for you because my family, my loved one, I care for you. So if I ask you to do something and you say no or you give me attitude, I'm looking at you like, okay, like what? Like
Hmm.
I can give an example. Um, asked my brother to what did I ask him to do? Oh, put the grill together. He was like, that's gonna have to wait till I, got a day off, but he been working 7 days. Hold on, it's the dog. He sent me. But then, um, so he was like, well, when I'm off, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I like, I'll get it, get to it. In the same breath, okay. Um, after we didn't eat, so we went to go get something to eat, and he said, "Quita, can you bring me something back to eat from where I'm going to eat?" Like we went to Taco Bell, and I was like, "I know this nigga." Excuse me. Um,
You.
did not say asked me to bring him something. He just told me no to like fixing the. He didn't say no today, but like I needed it done there because I want to cook on it. And I was annoyed. I was so annoyed with it, and I didn't say anything. I bought the
Uh-huh.
food.
That goes back to that anger suppression. And that goes back to that is the lesson. The saying no to getting him the food, it sounds like that is the lesson or that is the conversation. So what would it have looked like if you would have expressed it? You know what? I'm a little annoyed that you're asking me to pick up food. And he would have been like, why? Blah, blah, blah. Well, earlier I asked you for help and I expected some type of timeline or commitment
Yeah,
for that help.
I think. Yeah. So when he said like later this week when I'm off, and I'm just like, well, if I ask you now,
Mm.
that's the conversation. How you just played that out. I played it out, but I know him, and I can't, I won't divulge too much on him, but I know his here as well, how he behaves or how he can, and
I'll challenge you on that.
he's his anger management is not the best.
I understand, but I'm still gonna challenge you on that because that is directly related to conditioning. Because he gets to have these explosive moments, explosive anger,
Mm,
explosive whatever, does that mean that you don't give reciprocity? And does that mean that you continue to give at the same level when you're not getting the things back?
no, it doesn't. And it's like that's the part I'm trying to figure out. Because even now I kind of want people gone
Okay.
specifically. Um,
If them being gone, does that still, if even if they were gone, does that help you learn the lesson that
no,
you need?
it
Okay.
don't. Not no, but right now it's kind of something that I just kind of want in a way. Is like
Okay.
people out my house. I mean, especially like he's 38. You're grown, so you should be making moves. I get annoyed about that. Um,
I'm a
but
challenge you.
again, I know.
I'm hearing this should. I'm hearing you're grown. I'm hearing giving people way too much credit. And this doesn't mean you cut off your family members and like, you become like a no anytime a family member asks you for something. But I'm still hearing expecting giving people way too much credit. And
Yeah,
and the interesting thing is you're giving them credit based on how you are, but they're not you. They can be your family and still be very selfish. They could be your family and still be very manipulative. They could be your family and still be on some, well, if she gonna do it, I'm gonna take it. So how do
yeah. I
you
wouldn't.
resolve
Yeah,
that? You know.
I have no clue how to solve it because it's
Oh,
been,
resolve, sorry.
resolve it. Like I don't know how to like. Um, I will say I've gotten better with me and my mom talking in that space of saying no and putting, like me and her have improved a lot. But between my baby brother and I, it's a different relationship.
Got it.
And then between me and my other baby brother, the one John, the other one, me and him have a different relationship. It's a open dialogue. We can talk, we can do, but even John don't talk to D because of how the dynamics. And I have to tell you that I don't want to divulge that part.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, shouldn't do it.
So, but it is, I do see where you're seeing the conditioning. I see it. I understand it. I just don't know how to implement it in a way that is um
Safe for you.
safe for me and productive
Got it.
in a way that it'll flow.
Got it. Okay.
So I see it. I have to make note of that to have,
Yeah, so dot. I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
So I get that part, but definitely anger suppression because Damn. I did that with my dad
Mm,
yesterday.
got it. Okay.
I didn't say any shit to him at
Okay.
my cousin's reception. Um, and OMG, was not expecting this. Uh, but yeah, yeah. And it does feel like people will be combativeness towards me. I feel like sometimes when I express things to people, um, they take it the wrong way. And it's like, so I've been learning how to speak and use the right words. Um,
Trying to trust your discernment because that's what
yeah,
cards came up. Can you see
uh,
trust discernment?
okay, yeah,
Does that resonate? You've been trying to. Okay.
yeah. Like trying to like properly say it with not in a tone of um I don't want to be annoyed when I, or not annoyed or sound angry or resenting or I want to just address it without having so much emotion behind it. That's hard for me.
Okay. And the emotion is coming from you.
Yeah, for me.
And then when they don't respond to you in the way that you expect, then is there some type of shame cycle? Because that's what came up too. Or like some type of like
Um,
questioning, like, should I have did it that way? Should I have said it that way?
yeah,
Should I have?
yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe I could have said it a different way, or maybe I could have done this differently. Like that's definitely a part of the cycle when it comes to that. It is yeah. And I will say, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it. And
Is it unique to men or is it just family in general?
um family in general.
Okay.
Um oh wait, hold on. I've gotten better with females.
Okay.
I've gotten better. Like over the over the past like year or so, like in the change, I've gotten better. Women are more willing to sit and hear a little bit versus a man and his ego and his I gotta be right. Like some of them are, not all.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I've improved with females. Men I still struggle with, but I also know that that might be a daddy issue too. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of layers there. We just built a whole cake.
Yeah.
Well,
You
my
did you did well. And I'm gonna stop you there because I don't, I think uncovering some of those layers is energy wise, I think that's enough to sit with. And correct me if I'm wrong.
hey,
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to I want to use how you're holding yourself right now to self-soothe, to self-soothe. Um to do some breath work
okay,
as you go into your week and process more because I have a feeling that more things are going to come up. Um and so giving yourself a hug is a really, really great somatic practice. Um, and so the breath work that I'm gonna introduce is just a simple rule of four breathing. It's just inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds, and then pausing. And we're gonna
okay,
do three of those breaths. Let your body do what it wants to do. Close your eyes, keep
okay.
your eyes open, doesn't matter. Yeah, here we go.
Ooh,
Let's inhale for 4 seconds. One, two, three, four. Let's hold. One, two, three, four, and release. One, two, three, four. Hold. One, two, three, four. Second breath, I'll let you count on your own. Let's inhale through the nose and let's hold and release and pause. Last one. Let's inhale. Let's hold. Release and pause.
Okay.
Very good.
Ugh. Like I just read my whole body just now. I am crisscross. I am so guarded.
Um,
Like I feel, although I think this is a guard of like protection. Like I feel I like another layer just came down and I'm like naked and I'm kind of like trying to like, and I don't know how to cover it or fix it.
mm. Is it to me that you're sharing with me, or is it something personal? Is it you don't
It's
want
it
people to see? You don't want people to, what's the
it's hearing me speak it and knowing like hearing that and then connecting and it's like it's not that you know or it's just okay, but I want to change it because that's a big part of like my life and I want to change that because I can't keep moving in that same direction with the things that I'm trying to do and it can affect me longer or it can affect me in a way that is not beneficial. So I need to to work through it and go. And it's like now I'm just kind of like, okay, like oh like okay. It is like this was a guard. This was like it's like you can hold it together,
Mhm.
but a part of me is like, no, I wanna like let it fall out and then figure out how to voice those concerns and those things properly.
Yeah.
And me not doing that, I've been hurting myself. I have to take responsibility that I actually hurt myself by allowing that to happen. And I don't think about myself first. And it just all just kind of like fell out. And you didn't know those things, but it was like it just kind of like bleep, bleep. I feel like a
Yeah.
kid out here. I'm sorry, I go to joking. So
Yeah, I get you. I'm the same
so
way.
so it just kind of popped. It was just like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah. Okay. I got some notes, some homework to do. And
Yes, I have some even more homework for you. I do want to remind you that on the other side of vulnerability is change. And so you're already different. So the person who you were 20 minutes ago, that person doesn't exist anymore because now you have new knowledge that you can apply going forward.
mhm.
You can choose, like, I will never be in a situation like that again, and then work slowly at trust. Trust is complex. Okay. So, it's not an on and off switch where it's like, now I trust all the folks, it's one
Yeah.
small action, one small thing. And even when you're building trust, you can still experience disappointment. So our goal is to be able to hold the disappointment better to where it don't,
Mhm.
you know,
Blow up like a volcano.
yeah, blow up like a
Because that's
volcano.
'Cause that's how I feel like sometimes like
Yeah.
I'm not confrontational. That's the other thing.
Mm, that
I do not like confrontation.
okay. That's good information. That's definitely something to explore um more in future sessions. I think that might be the underlying theme, in trying to figure out where that even came from.
Yeah.
Because confrontation is actually can actually be productive, can actually be the thing that produces the productivity that you're looking for. However, if there are issues with safety, and I don't know if this is going to be safe for me, that can definitely stop the confrontation from happening.
No. Okay.
Well, this is recorded, so
Okay. Yeah. Like
I
I
can see
need
your
to. Yeah.
transcript.
'Cause, okay. Yeah. That's dope. And it's crazy. The cars just kind of like.
Oh yeah, and I pulled some crystal cards for you that confirm the same thing. Calcite, which is connected to amplifying, cleansing, and openness. So that was the first
Oh
card that
wow.
came up. And what you could do with these cards, you can either get the crystal or you can just journal about what the crystal means and kind of carry it with you energetically.
Hmm.
This crystal can amplify energy for higher awareness and healing. And you can pair it with other crystals to amplify those qualities. And so it transforms negative energy for release and renewal. So, what you experience today with the negative energy, you said you wanted to get that off of you and reclaim. This crystal is really, really great for that. Um, and so I'm like, okay, well, what crystals would pair well with this one? And I pulled watermelon tourmaline, which represents love, balance, and clarity. And it talks about relationships being the clarity of life. And so for you, you value family and you give and pour out to your family, but that reciprocity isn't always there. So how do you get what you need coming back, even if the parameters are a little wonky? Like even though they
Hmm.
don't make you feel safe, how do you still get what you need from those relationships? Um, so I was like, okay, I feel like there's more. And then I pulled amethyst, which has to do with protection, trust, and intuition. So safety is a theme with these cards. Trust for you is a theme for this card, and leaning on your own intuition and discernment, which is what I pulled from the other oracle, and how you can navigate these relationships so you can get things pouring back into you. Because, like you said, the more you don't do it, the more you don't confront, the more you don't try to figure out how to get it out, then you are harming yourself.
Hmm.
So then I'm like, okay, well, how is she harming herself? I pulled a little tarot, and the Queen of Wands came out in reverse. Queen of Wands is directly related to our own intuition and creativity. So it kind of points to that shame cycle that we were talking about. When these things don't happen, I can't show up as my authentic self. And so it just kind of creates a spiral. I don't know if you feel spirals in your everyday, but it could be directly connected to people are going
Yeah.
a little too far, whether it's a contractor, whether it's a family member, whether it's a son. I'm not confronting it. I'm taking on the emotional weight of it. And then I can't be my best self. I'm harming myself. And then I got to dig myself out of the trenches. Then I come back again, giving them all this credit, all of this, whatever, expecting something to come back. I don't get it again. And then I'm crying,
Psychology. Yeah.
holding this emotion. Then I go back through the cycle again.
Okay. Yeah. Can you send me those like pictures so I can? Because yeah, that is wow. You can. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna have to sit and meditate on some things because right now my mind is like going like, "Ooh," but I'm good. I feel better. I will say that I feel a little lighter
Okay.
now identifying it better because it was like, what's wrong? Like, why? So now that I got a subject title, I can figure out, and I will also speak with my other person to get better at it as well. So
I
I
mean,
gotta
they
add
sound
that
like
to
really
my
good
list.
practice ground.
Huh?
They sound like really good practice ground, especially if they're volatile.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for your self-care, it says meditate on the expectations of others and how they differ from your own desires. Use this insight to practice living by your own standard. And this is tarot for self-care. So that is your homework. Give yourself a
Mhm.
nice gift of either something hydrating, something with lemon and lime and cucumber, to like apologize to yourself and to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, body. Like I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm doing the best I can, and let me sip on this to lock in and seal, who
Girl,
I'm becoming."
pause just 1 second. Let me, you just, hold on, hold on. Why did I go to the store and get cucumbers?
Listen, the spirit teams be spiriting. Yes, baby, baby. Your angels are here, honey. Don't ever doubt it. Don't ever doubt it.
I mean, the first thing I picked up in the store.
Don't ever doubt it.
Okay. And I said the rest. I was gonna meditate on it. So we gonna have some cucumber water and I eat and I sit Momo asleep so I don't have to worry about her. So I get a little moment to sit.
Yes,
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm going to end this and then I'm going to start recording again because I want to ask you for your feedback and then that'll be it.
Okay.